You're listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob, only on UIC Radio. At the beginning of the hour, you were listening to some Big Mama Thornton, You Don't Move Me No More. Followed by that, Baby Won't You Please Come Home by Big Maybelle. And then we went on to play some Sharon Lewis for you, who I am so happy and excited to have in the studio with me today. She agreed to come on, and I'm so happy and excited that she's here. How you doing, Sharon?
I'm cool. How are you? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world.
That's right, because we've got a lot of people tuning in.
Yes. Thank you for having me. I appreciate that.
Thank you
I
so
really
much.
do. Oh, not a problem at all.
So, Sharon, and while I mess around over here, can you tell us, I guess, for all our listeners so that they know, and a lot of them are familiar with you and your music, can you tell us where were you born and raised, and kind of give us a background?
I was born on planet Earth. Specifically in the great state of Texas, in Fort Worth, Texas.
Okay.
Yes, from the Fort Worth, Dallas area.
And that's where you were raised?
I was born and raised partially in Texas, but I moved to Oklahoma after my grandmother passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
And then how long did you stay in Oklahoma?
8 or 9 years. I thought, it seems like a lifetime, but it's not. Because let me back up even a little further. I was born in October 1952. Ain't no secret. October 10th. And you can call in and get my address to send flowers in October. But no, I was born in Texas. And my mother died a week before my first birthday.
Oh, my goodness.
A lot of people don't know that, but my mother died a week before my first birthday. So I never knew my dear, and that's what they called her, my dear.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed with my grandmother, who actually died on the same day 7 years later.
Wow.
Yeah, they said she really grieved for my mother. She had 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy, and my mother was the youngest girl. And it was my uncle was after her. So after my grandmother passed, there was this big question: what are we going to do with Sharon? And I stayed a year with my uncle in Texas, and that was not good. I was emotionally, mentally, and sexually abused for a full year before I was moved from there and moved with my great. I don't hide nothing anymore. Ain't nothing to hide. I'm 64 years old. Get it all out. And for those that can't deal with it, I don't know what to tell you because it's my life, At any rate, I went and stayed with my great aunt, my grandmother's sister, Ruby, in Oklahoma, in Lawton, Oklahoma, which is where I grew up, finished my adulthood, growing up. She raised me, and I got married really young and moved to Chicago.
Wow, oh my goodness. And you moved up to Chicago, around what year did you move to Chicago?
69.
Oh, okay. So you've been here for...
No. I left. Yeah, I left. After a few... I left, and I lived in New York for a little while, and then I moved to California, and I stayed out there until I was caught up in a crazy relationship, and that wasn't working. And I was going to either stay there and be with that individual or die. So I chose not to die. I mean, ladies, if this is a public service announcement. If you're in a bad relationship and everything you do is not working, get out. It's not going, especially if there's physical abuse. And that's what I had a lot of. And I attribute that to a lot of things that happened to me when I stayed with my uncle. I just do. And I just stayed trying to think it was going to get better and I could fix it. And it was all me. And it wasn't. I was young. I was 19 years old. There was no reason in the world that I had to feel like that, because these years now I know that love doesn't hurt.
Right.
No.
That's true.
That's a blues song too.
Yeah, sure. I was just about to say, and that
love
is the
don't
blues.
Hurt. Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness.
I'm telling you.
So Sharon, can you tell us a bit about when you began? Like, who are some of the people that you were listening to when you were growing up? Who were some of the artists that you just were so crazy about?
And there were so many. But understand that I never listened because of my upbringing with my grandmother.
Sure.
My grandmother was a missionary in Church of God in Christ.
Oh.
No, yes, sir. And we didn't wear pants, nor did we wear sleeveless things, and we didn't listen to the radio or TV on Sunday. Yeah, she was a very staunch religious woman.
Oh my
And
goodness.
she, you better not. So I really didn't, seriously, I really didn't listen to any secular music until I was like 9 years old.
Wow.
I didn't listen to any secular music. And then, I remember in the beginning, the radio, there were no blacks and stuff on the radio. I remember listening to stuff like I Wake Up a Little Susie.
Oh yes.
That kind of stuff. Thank God for Motown. That's all I can say. And the thing was, with the dances and things that we were doing back then, the bump, and that's the one I can remember off the top of my head.
Uh-huh.
You couldn't dance the bump to that, Wake Up Little Susie.
No.
You just couldn't do it. And thank God Motown came into play, and I was convinced I was going to grow up and be one of the Supremes. You couldn't make me believe I was not going to be one of the Supremes.
Wow.
So I listened to a lot of Motown. I was particularly taken with Dinah Ross and the Supremes, of course.
Okay.
And then there's the other label, Atlantic, and what's the one out of Memphis? And I was just down there, okay?
I'm drawing a blank.
Stax.
Thank you.
Yeah,
or Stax in California.
No, Stax is out of Memphis. Memphis Horn, Stax Records.
That's right.
Yeah, I was just down there. If you have a chance, people, I'm telling you, go visit the Stax Museum. You will not be disappointed. I cried. I walked through there and cried because it just brought back memories. Just started flooding back. We were at the Catholic church. They used to have a sock hop every Friday, and that's where we would go. And that's 50 cents to get in. Sometimes we wouldn't eat lunch all week. Just so I go to the hop. So yeah, Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell and people like that. I grew up listening to, but oh my God, I was just so taken with those people, especially like Marvin Gaye. A lot of people don't know that Marvin Gaye actually did recorded the first anti-war song by a black. What's going on?
Right.
And I wrote a song on the first CD on Delmar called What's Really Going On.
Oh, yes.
Because it ain't nothing changed. It's just, what they say, SSDD, same day, different stuff.
Right.
You guys should have seen the way he cringed. He thought I was going to say something. I mean, I'm not going to get you. I ain't going to get you put off the radio. I'm not that kind of girl. Oh, no.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, I grew up listening to those people, and they influenced me. I never listened to blues growing up. I thought I had a different mindset about blues.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So at what point did you start even listening to the blues?
I'm glad you asked. A friend of mine, she's actually my daughter's godmother.
Okay.
And we've been friends for a long time. Sharon called me one night. She said, "Woman, let's go holler the blues." I was like, "Do what?" Because I was a Motown girl. I wasn't listening to no dang on blues. And mind you, I'm in my 20s at this point,
right.
mid-20s. And I said, okay, anything to get out. So I said, okay, we'll go there, and if I don't like it, we'll leave. Well, we went there, and the next week I called her and said, let's go holler the blues. And where we went to was Lee's Unleaded Blues.
Oh, yes.
I know one of your favorite places.
You know it.
Exactly. And we miss that place for real. So many of those places are disappearing, and the blues scene is just shaking.
Ooh,
At any rate, we went to Lee's Unleaded. Now, I have seen many people. At that point, I had seen many people live performances, but this was the first live blues performance I'd ever seen. And performing that night was Buddy Scott and the Rip Tips with Miss Pat Scott.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't think I wasn't taken. I watched that woman walk the floor, and them people putting money in her hand and stuff, and I'm like, she is everything I want to grow up to be.
Oh, my goodness.
I was just that taken with her.
Wow.
I was just that taken with her. She was, and then the fact that, after the set, she was very approachable, and she was nice. She was a little crazy, but she was nice. And, you know, and I understood now as a performer that, you know, people, let me tell y'all something. When I get off the stage, give me a minute. I got to catch my breath. Sit down and get the kinks out and, you know, maybe drink a little something, have a Coke and,
right.
you know, and just kind of relax for a second. And then I don't mind talking and saying, signing stuff and selling you CDs. Yes, sir. I can do that.
You said, well, we can sell these CDs all night.
Yes. And I go get something from the car if this is not enough. You know?
Right.
But she was the first live blues artist I ever saw.
Wow. Pat Scott.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Mighty World Band.
No,
you said Buddy Scott. That's how
Buddy
long
Scott
ago was that?
Ooh, my Lord. Child, this was close to 40 years ago.
Ooh.
Yeah, my daughter's 38, 39. I don't know. She's born in 1970 something. 70. That girl was born in 78.
Wow. Wait.
No, she was born in 79.
Okay. Born in 79. She's 38.
She just had a birthday.
Okay.
Is that 38 or 39? Nobody knows. Nobody
Don't
cares.
ask me.
Okay, we having issues with this too. I can't remember how old that gal is, but she was small, so she was like 3, 4 years old, something like that.
Mm.
But Buddy Scott ruled, and I used to bring when I was working at University of Chicago then.
Okay.
No, not University of Chicago, but some years later when I was working at University of Chicago, I used to bring carloads of people to the South Side to see Buddy Scott and the Rib Tips.
Oh, my goodness.
Sure did. And that was after my initial encounter because they were like, you know, we want to go do something different. They used to hang out with all these, you know, crazy IT people. You know, IT people are different. That's a different horse right there.
Yes.
Totally a different horse, different breed. And we were always doing something. So they were like, we want to go hear some blues. I'm like, okay, I know where to go. They're always like, ask Sharon. Sharon knows. And we would go over there on Friday or Saturday, mostly Fridays, and hang out with Buddy Scott.
Oh, my goodness. Down at Lee's Unleaded. 74th in South Chicago.
First time I ever saw a blues artist, and I was so taken with Pat. I was taken, first of all, with her talent, and second of all, with her musicianship, showmanship, which was very natural, very easy. And I liked also the fact that she was suggestive and provocative without being slutty.
Interesting.
She was suggestive because, you know, she could dance and really kind of remind me of Angie Brooks. Angie is one dancing woman, I'm telling you. I can't move like that, you know, but they move. The bottom part of them, they move. They move. And that's what she would do. Yes, she was relaxed and very at ease with the audience and exuded so much energy and just brought you in. And that's what I wanted when I started to perform. I wanted that. So now it's my thing is that when you leave there, you're going to think you're my best friend.
Oh, my goodness.
And most people do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and you know, come up and hug me, and I love that. You know, I really do. I love that. Don't put your greasy hands on me. You know? That's all.
Oh my gosh! You all are listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob, and I got Sharon Lewis in here, my good friend who's in the studio with me, and I'm so glad that she's here. I think I have something that you like, that you grew up on. Let me play something for you. I'm gonna play something for you, Sharon, and everybody else too. Let's see if I can get it together. Okay, I think I've got something for you. We're gonna be right back because we're gonna talk to Sharon more about some of her favorite memories on the blues scene, also her new CD that she's gotten. We're gonna play some tracks off of that, and then we're gonna talk about the blues scene, the blues industry, what is going on? Like her song from her first Delmark CD, what's really going on?
I'm telling you.
And so you don't want to go anywhere. Now, I want to remind all of you, if you do want to call in and say hello to Sharon, or if you have a question too, you can give us a call at 413-2191. That's 312-413-2191, only on UIC Radio. And that, of course, was Aretha Franklin with Don't Play That Song For Me. And I know that was one of Sharon's favorite songs. I know Sharon also recorded a version on her first CD.
What? See, here's what I try to do. I try to, I add new originals to the CD. But what I also do is try to do some fan favorites. That was a fan favorite that I did for a birthday party.
Interesting. Yeah. We got somebody calling in. Let me go ahead and go to the live line. Hold on a second. Let's do this. Okay, UIC Radio Blues and News with Brother Jacob. You're on the air. Who's this?
This is Dolores Scott.
Hi, Dolores. How you doing?
Hey, Dolores.
I'm wonderful. I finally figured out how to get my sound going. But listen, I just want to say this publicly and so that Sharon can hear this and so that all the listeners can, because Sharon and I don't run around, hang out, but she's my girl, and I'm waiting on some tea cake recipe. That's a whole nother subject. But one of the kindest things that has happened to me since I've been kind of a part of this music blues world is Sharon Lewis was going out of town. She probably don't remember this. She was working at the Kingston Mine, and she called to ask if I could do her gig for her. That's a rarity. And I'm going to say it. Somebody might get mad, but most people don't want you doing their gig because they're so threatened that you might be trying to take it. But I want to say, Sharon, that was a great night. Thank you, girlfriend. And I love you for that. And I'm waiting on my recipe.
Dolores, there's nobody. Ain't nobody tell you to call here with that.
No, but I'm serious because don't act like you don't know how this whole thing can get at times. And
you know what?
We're not gonna go there because we love each other and we all love each other.
Oh, we say we do anyway.
I was blown away.
Well, here's the thing.
I really was, and I was a little nervous because I'm like, okay, if I go up here and mess up, she's gonna get me. But I did good. We had a good time, and I really, really, really appreciate the fact that you did that. I really do.
I still attest to that. I hold to that theory that what God has for me is for me.
I say it all the time.
Yes, what God has for me is for me.
Tell people.
And here's the thing: I'm not jealous of anybody out here, whatever you're doing. I'm gonna applaud you. In fact, that's one of my internal resolutions is to support more of the artists, especially the women, because we don't get that. And I just think that if we're on a show together, you do what you do, I'm going to do what I do, and guess what? Between the two of us or whoever else is on the show, we're going to have a good show.
That's what you
but just do what you do, and I do what I do. I'm not you, you not me. I had to tell somebody one time, you can't be my friend and be jealous of me.
Okay.
That's senseless. How are you my friend and you jealous of me? I'm not jealous of you. So,
right.
Well, how in the world?
If we we gotta love each other and kick butt.
I know, right?
I always tell people there wouldn't be a Gladys and Aretha and and all these people if God only want us to come out here and sing. So on that note, I'm hanging up so I can listen to you. Love you, girl, and give me my recipe.
I will, bye. Dolores. I swear. Bye.
That was Dolores Scott, and she's a good friend of mine and a good friend of Sharon's, and she's been a fixture, I'd like to say, in the Chicago music scene with the gospel and blues and jazz.
As long as I can remember.
She's been around doing a lot. So
as long as I can remember, she's been around.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I used to see Dolores for a while there. I was averaging about a funeral a week. You think about it, all the people that died, Killer Ray, Big D, Mrs. Dixon, on and on. And I told Dolores when we were at Eric Davis's funeral, I said, we got to stop meeting like this. We're going to have to get out together and do something, go to a movie, a play, or just go eat lunch or something together. But stop meeting at these funerals.
Yes.
My God.
I agree.
For God's sake. And I know that's God's work too, but it had started to take a toll on me.
Yes.
It really started to take a toll on me. It was just depressing.
It was, especially last year.
Yeah,
It was really rough.
I mean, and I think that was October, September, something like that. It was like somebody was every week, every other week.
Yep.
We were at leagues.
Right. Somewhere.
Gatlin's or somewhere.
Somewhere, absolutely.
I'm telling you, it was just a mess there for a minute.
Because if you thought about it, I mean, I didn't think we'd lose Otis Clay.
Yep.
And that was last year, too.
Yep.
It was Otis Clay, O.C. Anderson,
Right.
Killer Ray, Marie Dixon. And there were quite other folks that passed. Barrelhouse Chuck passed.
Yes.
I mean, it
Yes.
just goes on and on.
Yes, just goes on and on. And you know, it's kind of like my grandmother used to say, you better get your house in order.
Right.
And because time that's been ain't gonna be no more.
Right.
Just get your house in order. That's all. And I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I ain't trying to do nothing but make this music, sing these blues, and hopefully I can pay a bill or two.
Yes.
You know, that's
Yes.
all I'm asking. I ain't trying to take nothing from nobody.
I know that's right.
God bless. I'm just doing me, you know.
I know that's right.
For real.
I want to, Sharon, real quick, I want to let everyone know, for those of the students that are tuning in, bands are needed for a UIC Battle of the Bands event that's coming up soon. And if you are in a band, one band member must be a UIC student at least, but you can showcase your talent to the UIC community. In order to do that, you go to go.uic.edu/Battle of the Bands. And if you want more information about that, you can go to UIC OrgSync or the Center for Student Involvement. So we want to make sure I get that out. It's a little past the half-hour mark, so we're at 4:33. And you're listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob with my very special guest and dear friend, Miss Sharon Lewis.
Hey.
And we're sitting around here talking the blues and talking about what's going on, talking about her life and her story. What I'm going to do before we continue, I do want to play something else.
Okay.
And especially in thinking about Dr. King as well. It is Happy Martin Luther King
That's right.
Day.
Happy MLK Day.
I'm gonna play something for you. I know Sharon likes this artist too, so I think she'll enjoy this as well. I'm gonna go play this for you real quick. We'll be right back. Latest CD, Grown Ass Woman. And before that, I played one of my favorite Sharon Lewis songs, What's Really Going On.
I don't know what's really going on. Somebody tell me
What's really going
what's
on.
really going on, people. I'm telling you, that's the blues for real.
And before that, I played some Albertina Walker.
Yes.
Don't let nobody turn you around.
No, Lord.
Oh, my Lord. Okay.
Don't get me started.
Woo. Well, we can get started.
We're going to have a shouting good time. Y'all ought to be here. I'm trying to tell you.
Y'all are listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob. And I have Sharon Lewis in the studio with me. Oh, I will tell you all this, too, while I'm at it. I'm not leaving early today because it is King Day. Thank God. So I don't have classes today. So I can be here for a couple extra minutes. And so I'm happy because I've got Sharon in the studio with me, and we're going to keep on talking. And
Okay.
so, Sharon,
Yes.
what are some of your favorite memories from the scene when walk us through. So you went to Lee's Unleaded and you were amazed by Pat Scott.
Yes.
When did you start gigging? Who did you start singing with? And I mean, what are some of your favorite memories from being on the scene?
Well, here's the thing. I saw Pat. I was in my mid-20s, but understand, I didn't start singing professionally blues until I was in my 40s.
Wow.
Yeah, so I had my children, and I had to finish school, of course, and that kind of thing.
And where did you go to school?
Loyola.
And you graduated with what?
Management Industrial Psychology.
Wow.
Yeah. Ain't no dummy.
No, that's right.
I sang the blues, but ain't no dummy. And even if I did sing the blues and didn't have a degree, this still wouldn't make me a dummy.
I know that's right.
You know, but
because I know some educated fools.
Oh my Lord, there's so many of them walking around. You can't tell them nothing. But now you get your head cut off. But
right.
Still, yeah, well, that's what I did. So I was in my 40s when I started singing. 1993, May 5th. First gig was at Buddy Guy's Legends. And I had what started out, I did the very first blue gospel fest in Chicago.
Really?
Yeah.
Now,
With L. Stanley Davis.
oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
He will tell you. And I don't know who the lady was that called a little bit ago.
Dolores.
No,
Scott?
after
No.
Dolores, the other
That was
lady.
still Dolores. She called back.
Oh, okay, that was Dolores. Yeah. Dolores, tell L. Stanley, if he ain't listening, tell him I said hey and I gave him a shout out. But he started that. It was called Oh for a Thousand Tongues to Sing. And this was actually the second time he had put on the show in Grant Park, but this was the biggest. They had a huge article on us in the Reader and stuff like that. And I remember them blue dresses. We marched down from the Standard Oil building to the Petrillo Shell where the show was. Marched down Michigan Avenue.
Wow.
Yes. And I'm saying it on the radio, so you know I'm not lying.
Right.
And I'm calling out names that can verify this.
I know
But
that's right.
yeah, that was Stanley's project in Baby. And the next year, the city of Chicago was calling him to get gospel artists for their blues fest. Albertina and all these people, the Norfleet brothers, the people like that, they were in the phone book, but they called Stanley.
Wow.
Yeah, they called Stanley to get these people's numbers so they could put on their blues fest. But we did the first gospel fest here in Chicago.
Oh my goodness.
Yep. And after all of that, I did a show. This was after my son was born, so this was after 1988. I did a show at Northwestern University where I was working.
Okay.
Because I worked here at UIC for a while and couldn't get no play with these civil service jobs. My God,
Don't get us started.
Okay, we won't talk. We already been through that earlier today. But anyway, I went because I wanted to pursue my master's. And so I was applying at schools, thinking I could get a tuition break and that kind. And it's so slighted. What the heck?
Right.
After you figure it out, So anyway, I went to Northwestern and we were planning. I was on a committee to plan for a family picnic for our department.
Sure.
ILS. And they said, well, what are we going to do for entertainment? I said, we don't need no entertainment. We got so-and-so play drums, this the other one over here play guitar, and so-and-so play bass. I can sing, blah, blah, blah. And we put this review together, the ILS review.
Wow.
And I did, what's that song? Black Dog. Hey, hey, baby, say the way you move. Gonna make you sweat. Gonna make you groove.
Oh,
yeah,
my
I did
goodness.
Black Dog. And some other thing, Proud Mary.
Oh.
And was smitten all over again. I always sung, but I always sung in church. Like I told you, my grandmother was a staunch religious person, and that carried on with me. And I sang with a lot of different gospel groups, and that's how I met L. Stanley Davis, Calvin Bridges.
Oh, wow.
What's his name? The Soul Children, Walter Whitman from the Soul Children. Yeah.
Yes.
These guys are all very good friends of mine. And so I was just like smitten, and I just felt like I'm serious, and I'm not being, I'm not tooting my own horn or anything like that, but I just felt like I needed to share it with the world, and I was ready because I met Tina Turner when I was 17.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I mean, she was one of the first people I saw live. Ike and Tina Turner review, yes sir.
Oh, have mercy.
Rolling on the river. Yeah.
Wait a minute, can I play that?
Yes, absolutely.
Hold on, wait a minute. We rolling. Rolling on the river.
Rolling on the river.
Sharon Lewis and I in the studio rolling on the river. Sorry, we were talking about Ike and Tina Turner, and I said, let me play the song while I got it. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, one of my favorites, oldie but goodie. There's a video of me on YouTube in Denmark doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got some Danish girls on stage with me, and we rolling and tumbling and whatnot and having a good time in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta check that out. I gotta
Oh,
check
yeah.
that out. We gotta share that on the Facebook page.
Oh,
too.
yeah, I've done it, but, you can share it if you want to. That's good. It's all good.
So, Sharon, let's talk a little bit about. So we were starting to talk about you
My
working on the
process.
scene, right?
Yeah, and that's how, well, like I said, we did that show at UIC, Northwestern.
Oh, right.
And I was bitten by the entertainment bug again.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and by that time I was in my late 30s, early 40s.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in my early 40s. And other than doing some gospel and that kind of thing, I wasn't doing anything professionally,
Okay.
nor on the blues scene. So I decided, and tell you how I got into this, how I got into the blues.
Okay. Talk to me.
I decided I wanted to share my talent with the world. Where to start?
Okay.
Got me a good old reader, and looked in there under music, band seeking singers, and I got I think it was 5 auditions, and I got offers from all 5.
Wow.
To come, to front their bands. But I chose one band, Under the Gun, because first of all, they were doing original stuff, and I was always told you can't get rich singing other people's music.
That's true.
And it's not that I don't like other people's music, but I think I write just as well. Hello.
Yes, that's right. You
And
do.
so I sing my music, and like I say, I always add a fan favorite to the CD, a cover to the CD, and Don't Play That Song was a fan favorite.
Right.
It was for Melissa's birthday. I know she might be listening. But anyway, so I chose Under the Gun, and Under the Gun was doing contemporary blues. And that's how I got with Steve Bramer, who wrote half this new CD. This is our first project together in over 20 years because, we all kind of grew up and grew out. He got married, moved to the suburbs, had 2 or 3 kids, and other musicians, Clyde Davis, still drumming, heck of a drummer. R.B. Green, guitar player, and he is doing his due. And on bass was Gordon Patriarca.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was Under the Gun. And that was my first professional experience. This is the best $100 I ever made. It was a Wednesday night at Buddy Guy's Legends, and we packed that place.
Wow.
I was a little nervous because there were friends and family, and a lot of friends, a lot of family, and they had one waitress, and she was crazy by the end of the night.
Oh no!
Because it was a Wednesday night, we got a lot of people in there and stuff, and that was a good thing in my maiden voyage, if you will. And we went on to do a lot of stuff, and we produced a self-produced CD, I think in 94, 95.
Okay.
And it's called Everything's Gonna Be All Right.
Wow. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I do know about that record.
Yeah,
Yes.
that CD was self-produced. We put that together.
Wow.
Yeah, and of course my first label CD was 4 years ago. So this journey hasn't been, it's not short. And for those that haven't heard of me, I've been out here, trust me, since 1993. I've been out here. So that's a good thing. And I'm so grateful to the fans and Delmark, Steve Wagner, Bob Kester, and Susan, and those guys, Frank.
Absolutely.
For, believing in me and taking this project on. And I got a couple of more projects that I want to do kind of outside the blues. I got a thing I want to do, a gospel CD.
Oh, yes.
And for this last CD, Grown Ass Woman, I had asked, before his untimely death, Otis Clay, to perform a song with me that I'd written. And he died before I could do it.
Oh, my goodness.
I wrote the song. I shelved it. I said, I'm not going to put this on here. It's too close to, and I'm going to figure out somebody else that can croon like him and put it out there with me. And I have a couple of ideas in mind. But I'm gonna record that song.
Wow.
And that CD will probably be dedicated to Otis. But yeah, that's where I started, 1993. May 5th, I remember it like it was yesterday. At Buddy Guys, my first gig, and I haven't played Buddy Guys in 4 or 5 years, but that's another story.
Oh.
That's another story. And I told you I was going to tell you my Bo Diddley story.
Oh, yes. If you want to go.
That's part of my, I tell people all the time I'm full of useless information.
Okay.
Just full of useless information.
We like it.
It's not bad, but it's useless. Totally useless.
What's the Bo Diddley story?
The Bo Diddley story, some years ago when I first started singing, Mel Collins, if anybody out there remembers and knows, Mel Collins was one of the biggest record producers in Chicago. He did that with Ruby Andrews,
Okay.
Casanova,
Yes.
and they blacklisted him. Yeah, he was blacklisted. And a lot of people don't know that, but if you go into any major music book, you can Google his name and that kind of thing, and you will find out how important this man was to Chicago music. That's why he was blacklisted. They knew what they were doing. You understand what I'm saying?
I sure do.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing. And anyway, Mel Collins called me one night. I had a gig that he has called me, Sharon Lewis. For the listeners that don't know, Mel Collins was the father of Melvina Allen.
Oh.
Yeah, Melvina
okay.
Allen was his daughter. And she was a heck of a blues singer around
Yes,
this
she
was.
was.
Yeah, everybody knew Melvina because she ate plenty of chicken. And you bought it if you wasn't careful. How you doing, Melvina? I'm all right. I'm hungry. You want some chicken? Yeah. She used to kill me. But anyway, Mel called me and said, Sharon Lewis, you working Friday night or Saturday night, whatever it was. And I said, no, I want you to come over there and hang with the big boys. I said, what you talking about? And he said, I want you to come over to Mildred's. Mildred was his, she's part of the Coco Taylor Foundation.
Yeah, Mildred. Okay, yeah, I know Mildred.
Okay. I want you to come over to Mildred's and hang with the big boy. And Mildred lived right over here in Appleville, that big tower building you see when you go around the downtown.
Yeah.
That big building to your right. Come over and hang with the big boys. And I'm thinking, okay, who are the big boys? What is he talking about? This man is good. But I'll tell you this, Mel Collins gave me my first $500 gig. Yes, he did.
Really?
Yes, he did. He gave me my first $500 gig somewhere out in the north suburbs. And so I get over to this party at Mildred's. And it is right before, and I had done this like 4 or 5 years in a row. They used to have jamming for the homeless at Buddy Guy's.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm. And it would go. It was a fundraiser for the Chicago Coalition for the Homeless.
Because Coco used to do that a lot
Yes,
too.
because her and Mildred were good friends.
That makes sense.
Mildred was Mel Collins' girlfriend.
Oh.
Yeah, that was the relationship there.
Okay.
And he knew, of course, all the artists, and so he would get all the artists to come down there for and perform for that jamming for the homeless. Usually was on a Sunday.
Okay.
And it would start 1 o'clock in the afternoon and go till the club closed. So anyway, I get over there, and I'm looking, and I'm like, with the song, Everywhere I Look, I saw something that I liked. But what I was liking, was all these big blues artists. Coco was there. I was like, really? Artie Blues Boy White was there. And so on and so on. All of these artists, I had met Coco prior to that through Mel Collins.
Yes.
And when I met her, I grabbed her hand and got on one knee because I was just so, and people had told me, they compared me to her. And that's a good thing. But I think we each have our own thing.
Absolutely.
We each have our own thing. And I love that lady. And I am very honored that one drunk lady told me, you know who you sound like? I said, no, but you're going to tell me. She said, oh, yeah. I said, who do I sound like? You sound like Tina Turner and Janis Joplin. There we go, Coco. I rolled into one. I was like, really? She said, mm-hmm. And walked off. I was like, okay. So getting back to this Bo Diddley story. So anyway, and Mildred has food like you cannot believe. It is food everywhere in every room of this apartment. Food, from chitlins to tacos, peach cobbler, you name it, it is in there. And then,
don't do those Shirley Caesar.
Oh my God. Okay. So I'm sitting in the living room. I had found me a seat in the living room that was near most of the dessert, which I can't do now, and other things. But all night, I'm sitting next to this rather large man with his big square glasses.
Oh, gee.
I didn't know who he was. And whatever I went, I said, you want some peach cobbler? Yeah. I said, you want coffee with it? Yeah. So I'm stepping and fetching for him all night. And he said, this is my grandson, and he play drums for me, and this is my so-and-so. And, he's introducing me to the people near us. And I was like, oh, okay. And he said, and what's your name? I said, my name is Sharon Lewis. He said, oh, yeah, we were talking about you. I said, who we? He said, Coco and the others back there in the room. I was like, really? He was like, yeah, they say you're really good, and they like you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I said, well, you have me at a bit of a disadvantage in that I don't know your name. I'm sorry. He said, Bo. And I said, Bo. Because I had never met a black person named Bo. I went to school with a white boy named Bo. And I said, Bo. And he was like, yeah. I said, Bo what? He said, Bo Diddley. And I looked at him, I said, ain't he dead?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
I was absolutely, oh my God, I was just mortified. I was just absolutely mortified. And I was like, I'll be right back. I had to get away from him. Just looking at the man, talking to the man, talking about ain't he dead. That was a brilliant move, let me tell you.
Oh, Jesus.
Could have been the end of my career, too. But thankfully it wasn't, you know.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Ain't he dead?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's my Bo Diddley story.
Oh, Jesus.
And my friend David White is who wrote the liner notes for my CD.
Yes.
And who also, I have a article coming out in Living Blues.
Oh, okay.
This month.
Oh,
this
good.
next issue. And I'm grateful to Living Blues. Thank you guys for thinking I had something important to say and
Yes.
helping me push this new CD and that kind of thing. I'm really grateful to them.
Oh,
It's
good.
even going to talk about my last tour where I traveled with the ladies from Zimbabwe, Nwutu.
Where, what?
Yeah, we did a show in Slovenia. I met them in Germany.
Okay.
And because I was doing some shows in Germany, as were they. And we had, the promoter says, I heard about, listen to this. I got other gigs and stuff. But the promoter says to me, I heard about your gospel roots. And I was like, okay. And I put you on a show in Slovenia. You will do it? Europeans always talk to you with questions. You will do it? I was like, okay. Okay. The show was in Slovenia. I'd never been to Slovenia. And we played in this church. I put the photos on my Facebook page. Church was built in 1166.
Oh, my goodness.
Absolutely. And they'd renovated it. Absolutely beautiful. It's so old. It was in Roman times. They have their bodies that they're excavating from the basement, sub-basement of this building. This building is just incredible.
Oh, my goodness.
The ceiling, it's like the Sistine Chapel and that kind of thing. And I said, okay. And these ladies basically perform a cappella.
Okay.
But they are they have the most incredible harmony. Just the most incredible harmony. And I looked at him and I said, what you want me to do with this, with my old gruff U.S. Church of God in Christ gospel? But we put on a show. They did some things, and they did sing in their native language. That you ever heard that African language? They have the clicks and clucks. Well, they sing. There's 16 languages in Zimbabwe. That is the most difficult one.
Oh, my
And they
goodness.
sing in that language. And I have a little video of it that is just magnificent. But I did this. I even have a Maasai necklace that one of them made.
Oh, my
From
goodness.
the Maasai tribe, yeah.
Wow.
It was just, I just felt so necessary with them, and I had that tug in my heart. And going back to my roots, I always tell people I have 3 languages of music. My first, of course, is gospel.
Mm-hmm.
My second is R&B, and my third is blues.
Yes.
And my music is a combination of all of that.
Yes.
Yes. It's not just, I love the old traditional blues, but I don't want to listen to it all night. Not if I got to sing. That's not me.
Right.
And I can do it, and I have done it, and I still do it. But I think the music needs to move forward. That stuff has been done and done to death.
Absolutely.
I tell you, the only time I think in the last 5 years, I think I've done Sweet Home Chicago once, and I did it in Europe.
And what's your rule now when someone wants to do Sweet Home Chicago?
The rule is you have to pay me $501, because the last time I did that song in Chicago, the guy paid me $500 to do it. Yeah, it's a true story. I was at Blue Chicago. This is years ago. I was at Blue Chicago, and This guy get drunk. I said, dude, it's straight home Chicago.
Oh, God.
I said, no. It was straight home Chicago. I said, no, come back during the Blues Fest. I swear you won't ever ask for it again. No. So finally near the end of the night, he looks at me, he kind of sobered up a little bit. All right. How much will it take for you to do Sweet Home Chicago? So to get him out of my hair, I said $500. He said 1, 2. I said, come on, baby, don't you want?
Oh, Jesus.
So yeah, you gotta come up $501. I'm not gonna beat you up. I could say 6.
Right.
No, $501. Yeah, you got it.
You all are listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob here on UIC Radio. And I've got my very good friend and special guest, Miss Sharon Lewis, who's in the studio with me. Oh, thank you, Sharon. And we're just sitting here talking about the blues and the blues scene and everything that's going on, talking about her career, her life. I do want to talk to you about your CD.
Okay.
I don't want to let that get away from me.
No.
I'm at it.
Okay.
Let's talk about the CD. Grown ass woman. What? Where do I start?
The title.
What? Right. Why grown ass woman?
Well, I've been experiencing a few things over the years, and you know how sometimes when things are kind of all up in the air and stuff, and you trying to calm people down, just calm down, be cool, and so on.
Right.
I'm grown, I can do what I want. Well, if you're grown, act like it.
Okay.
Because to be grown, one has to take care of oneself.
Right.
Okay. And secondly, there's a certain way. I mean, there's nothing wrong with being angry. It's a normal human emotion. Is how you show the anger.
Right.
And what you do with it. And I mean, I had a meltdown a few weeks ago on Facebook, but oh yeah, you didn't see that? You have to go back and see that.
Oh.
I went live, and I had a meltdown.
Oh.
But
this is like more like last month or
Yeah.
the month. Okay,
Yeah.
I do. Okay, yes.
Okay.
I am very aware.
And that was my way of showing anger, because if I hadn't shown my anger that way, it would be 2-3 dead people.
Oh my goodness.
And I don't regret what I said or doing it. It was a release. It was for me. It just happened that I wanted to release it to my friends and family.
Right.
Let them know what was going on with me, because I'm human just like anybody else. And I have emotions. I'm not a robot.
Right.
And anger is a normal human emotion.
Right.
It's what you do, how you do it. And thank God for Facebook Live, because it saved a couple of lives.
Oh my God. Oh Jesus.
And I don't purport violence, and I'm not a violent person. But there are times when I'm at a point, and I'm sure you are too, is like, this person is dogging me.
Right.
And if I don't stop it, who will?
Exactly.
If I don't stop this person from treating me the way I don't want to be treated, who's going to stop that?
Right.
And this person will continue to do what they're doing until they're called out.
Exactly. They continue to treat you the way you let them treat you.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Okay.
And there's too many people being used and abused on
Talk
the blues
about
scene.
that. That sounds like a blues song to me. From the rooter to the tutor. Okay. and grown ass woman was one of those things that I wanted the CD, and it is pretty much, but I really, really wanted it to let black women shine.
Absolutely.
I wanted to let black women shine, because we say things to act whether they want to believe it or not, and I know most people don't believe there's any racism in the world or in this country anymore. And those people
take a look at the blues.
Then those people that don't believe that there's racism in this country have been asleep.
You know it.
The last 30, 40 years, because things have changed, but things have not changed enough, and we're still part of a disposable society.
Yep.
My song Freedom talks about that.
Yes. Tell me about Freedom.
Freedom, I didn't write Freedom.
Okay.
Steve wrote Freedom, and when
Steve
Bramer.
He's
He's playing guitar on the CD, and he wrote about 6 songs on the CD, and he was the founding member of Under the Gun.
Okay.
he discovered me. I let people know that he was the man that discovered me. I auditioned. He and the 4 other bands offered me to come with them. I chose Steven Under the Gun because, like I said, they were doing original music, and I kind of liked the makeup of the band once I got there. And I wanted to be able to express myself, and you can't express yourself really sometimes with other people's music. I mean, it has a meaning, but anything that I sing from my heart.
Absolutely.
And if I can't sing it from my heart, when I stop singing from my heart, I'm gonna stop singing.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Period. From my heart, and I have fun doing it. And when it stops being fun, it's still fun after 20-some years. Although there's, musicians and club owners and promoters and that kind of thing, they can put a damp on it. I just push them aside. Do what you do. Do what you know to do.
Right.
Because you want me to perform, and that's what I'm going to do. Stop putting pressure on me.
Right.
Stop putting pressure on me for what?
Right.
But they don't. So that's why I write my own songs, right? And I wanted this song to be a reflection of black women, especially black women in the blues, because there are things that we tell our children, black women period, that we have to tell our children that white mothers don't. Because I used to tell my oldest son, who's 48 now, I used to tell him, don't let them make a statistic out of you. You're at the perfect age at that time. You're at a perfect age to be made a statistic. See, look, I told you wasn't going to be nothing. And it's not the fact that you weren't going to be nothing, is just that you put yourself in a situation. And all it takes is, that's all it takes. You get yourself in that one situation. And now you tell them, you want to tell them, don't give them a reason. But there is no reason.
Right.
So what do you tell them? I just had a hard time with that, and I had, I just can't believe after all the marching and the people being beaten and that kind of thing, over our rights, that we're still considered disposable. We are, basically. We consider, if you can shoot a 16-year-old kid 16 times and think that's okay and that's justified, get their parents a few $1 million and say, okay, go away. But there's
something wrong with that picture.
There's something wrong with that picture. And that's where freedom comes in. It says freedom cannot be freedom until freedom means freedom for everyone. And that makes a lot of sense. And what they say, freedom is not free. We've paid. I mean, I never thought, seriously, I never thought that in this age, 2017, that we still be having this conversation.
But we are.
I mean, I marched. My first march was in Lawton, Oklahoma, back in 1966 at a place called Dodo Park. You don't know nothing about it.
Sure don't.
And the place was because of integration. He was to integrate because blacks weren't allowed there. And I'm on a Facebook group called Lawton Then and Now, Lawton, Oklahoma. There's a huge army base, the 5th largest army base in the world, 5th largest in the world, 3rd largest in the country. So it's big.
Yes.
Fort Sill, Oklahoma. And this man decided that he wasn't going to let no blacks in there. Ooh. He said, I'll bulldoze it before I let him in. Guess what he did? He bulldozed it.
Oh, my God.
He bulldozed it. So blacks never got a chance to get there. And like I said, I'm in this group called Lawton Then and Now on Facebook. I know y'all running to find it. It's there. And they had a discussion. The older, the white people had a discussion. Oh, we used to go there. We had such fun and this, that, and that. So I chimed in. I said, this was one of the most racist places in the country at that time. When we were there, I said, did you ever notice it? Probably not. But think about it. There were never any blacks or Hispanics there. No. That was my first march, 1966. My first march.
Wow.
I marched from some other things. When I say I marched with King, I didn't necessarily march with him physically, but I marched with his ideals.
Absolutely.
And of course, there was Malcolm X and them other people that wanted to start a war, and I didn't think war was the answer, because if they'd done that, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I'd probably be dead.
Right.
It's just simple as that. But I wanted this CD to show the power of black women. And that's why I wrote, I'm a grown-ass woman.
What about Can't Do It Like We Do?
Can't Do It Like We Do is a a song that I wrote because I feel this way. And I think this music, and a lot of people would disagree with me, a whole lot of people would disagree with me, that this is heritage music. This is music born from the backs of my ancestors. That's where blues comes from.
Right.
You know? So, but they think they're blues men, and they're not. They're not blues men. They're men who play blues music, but they're not blues men. You know, we can't have nothing to ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because they try to take it and swamp it, and you know, oh, he came out of a blues rock fusion. What the hell is that? Excuse me. UIC, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. You can't curse. What in the devil is that? That didn't make any sense. Well, that's his music. Yes, but it's not my blues. And you can't tell me how to play my blues. Till you walk in my shoes. You know, I have another saying. You remember this one, Jake. Everybody want to be a blues man. Don't nobody want to be black.
Hello.
Okay. Chris Rock said it better than I said it. He's giving a monologue, and he was like, all these people in here, he said, ain't a white man in here want to be me, and I'm rich.
Ooh.
Chris Rock said that. Okay. And that's the way I feel. You know, half these people, you can't even eat at their dinner table. You know, you ain't put your feet under their dinner table. I had to unfriend a couple people because they were posting such racist stuff. And I was like, well, why are you friends with me? True story. Why are you friends with me? Because we like your music. I lost my mind.
And then
I lost my mind.
Oh, my God.
You know, no. And even better, from the Blues in the Symposium.
Which is run by your friend?
My best friend, Janice Monty. And that was the last symposium. There was a professor, I think she's out of California, Trisha Rose.
Okay.
She says, how can you love the gift and hate the gift giver?
Ooh.
I'm telling you, it's so many things. And people don't know what we go through. All they see is that we're singing and this, that, and the other. Yeah, but there's so much more behind the scenes that you are just totally unaware of. And I wanted to push this CD for black women. And that's why I called it Grown Ass Woman, because I wanted to get some attention. Freedom talks about a mother losing a child, you know, and it's not pretty. It's just not pretty. Grown Ass Woman, what we have to go through to be women, you know. If you work, you work. And, you know, my friend said, I don't care if you're shoveling manure. I won't say the other word. As long as you're doing something legal and you're working. And black women got off the boat working.
Yeah.
You know, you bore a child, and 2-3 days later, you were probably back in that field picking or chopping cotton or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We got off the boat working. They talk about, we on our rights and this. What are you telling me? You know, your object was to go to college to find a husband. They didn't go to college to do a career, most of them. During my generation, they went to college to find husbands.
Wow.
Yeah, they went to college to find husbands. You weren't going to do nothing with that degree.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh,
grown ass wife. What else is on that CD?
I thought I had it in front of me, and I need a. You know what? I need a hard. Oh, I do have a hard copy of it. I don't know why I don't have it with me, but hold on.
I know you do.
Because Mr. Kevin Johnson was so kind enough to
thank you,
give me
Kevin.
a copy. But you've got a lot. You've got Hell Yeah.
Yeah, that's the party girl.
Chicago Woman.
That's a deep thing.
They're Lying. Oh yeah, I love that song. They're Lying.
They're Lying. I premiered They're Lying a few years ago at the last symposium.
Yeah, because I remember that.
Yeah, and me, Deidre Farr, Nellie Travis, and Peaches Stanton. That was the premiere for that song.
Right.
Because, you know, it's just like something that everybody go through, you know, people talking about you and that kind of thing. You know, y'all can talk about me, I don't care. You know, I'm a grown-ass woman. I'm the real deal, baby. And until you pay some of my bills, you got nothing to say. You can talk about me, but you really ain't got nothing to say. I don't care. I really don't, right. You know. But, we premiered that, and there's actually, I think, a video of us doing. Yeah, it's a video on YouTube.
I want to say I've seen it, and I mean, I was there.
Yeah.
Because I performed on that
Yes,
symposium.
you did. Let me tell the listeners, I met Jake. Yeah, I got to talk about you. I met Jake many years ago And I just thought, this is the oldest young man I've ever met. I don't know who was older, you or Theo Huff.
Theo is.
Theo, well, he's older in age, but
right. Oh.
but I'm talking about in life mannerisms and thought processes. I think you got him beat on that.
Oh, no.
Because when I saw Theo get on that stage at Rose's and with that suit on, I mean, I had shades of Junior Wells.
Yes.
And red back and holding his side. I'm like, look at this old man.
Theo, that's my brother in the blues, everybody.
And then here come Brother Jake. I'm like, oh. This is like deja vu here. I've seen this young man somewhere. I don't know, Muddy Waters, Junior, Magic Sam, or somebody. You know you old. You
I'm not going to deny it.
You know you're old in mind. But I'm an old soul too, so I understand, and it's okay.
Absolutely.
It is. But what else? I can't remember the songs on the CD.
Don't try to judge me.
Don't try to judge me.
Old Man's Baby.
Yes, sir.
Walk with Me. One of my favorite, Call Home.
Yeah.
I love Call Home.
Okay.
Home Free Blues. High Road. Why I Sing the Blues. And
Yes.
Soul Shine.
Why I Sing the Blues it has always been something I've always done, even from the beginning with Steve and those guys. Because we did that night, first night at Legends, I did a lot of covers. But Why I Sing the Blues was not a lot of covers. I did very few covers because they were trying to get their music out, this contemporary blues. Okay, but the traditional blues we threw in Why I Sing the Blues, and what was that? The Soul Shine.
Yes.
Is one of my favorites.
And mine too.
Is what when the first time I heard it, I loved the song because it just it said a whole lot without saying with saying very little.
Right.
So you got to let your soul shine.
Right.
I don't care what going on, you got to let your soul shine.
Right.
And it is actually one of the favorite songs that I do around the world.
Okay.
I do it with a lot of bands it's on the set list when I travel with different bands. And I'm getting ready to get out of here in about 10 days.
In 10 days?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Headed to Siberia.
Whew.
But I'm first show is in Armenia.
Okay.
Yeah. First show is in Armenia. So I'm gonna fly Chicago, Moscow, Armenia, fly back to Moscow, and then fly to Siberia, and then come across Russia.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and I'll be there for about a month, and then I'll fly to Italy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I caught you when I did.
Yeah, I told you. And I was trying to get things set up for this my CD release party, which is this Friday.
Please tell them about that.
It's this Friday at Harlem Avenue Lounge in Berwyn. That's 3701 South Harlem.
Okay.
It's behind the what is that?
White Castle.
White Castle.
Mm-hmm.
And you can park across the street
At the White Hen.
White Hen. And White Hen is not what you think it is. The White Hen is a chicken place.
Right.
I've had the chicken. It's pretty good.
Okay, I haven't never tried it.
Because you come over there when the club is open.
Right.
So then you relegated to have KFC.
Right.
I know. But if you get there early, you can go to White Hen and get chicken. The chicken is actually really good.
Wow.
And you can park in the White Hen. There's a very few parking places behind the club, but you're allowed to park in that White Hen parking lot, and without fear of being towed and that kind of stuff.
And there's some street parking too.
Yeah, there's some street parking. There's a lot of street parking.
Okay.
But it's at the Harlem Avenue Lounge, 3701 South Harlem. That's in Berwyn, Illinois. Ken Zimmerman is the proprietor. Hi, Kenny. He's one of my favorite white people.
Oh my goodness.
He knows that. I signed a picture. His wife said that I signed a promo picture for them, and she said he had it beside the bed for many years. It's hanging up and down in the basement somewhere now.
Okay.
But the picture says, "To Kenny, one of my favorite white people."
Oh.
He knows he is.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's a place of honor.
Right. Y'all are listening to Blues and News with Brother Jacob with my very special guest, Miss Sharon Lewis. Before we continue, so we're talking about her CD Grown Ass Woman that you all can get. Go through Delmark Records, Delmark.com, Amazon, iTunes. You can find it. Sharon Lewis is on Facebook. You can go to her fan page, Sharon Lewis Blues Diva. That's
or Sharon Lewis and Texas Fire.
There we go. And they can find you and find information about your music.
If you want a signed copy, you can email me at bluesdiva2011@hotmail.com, and I can get you a signed copy. Send it off to you. I accept PayPal, Visa, MasterCard.
Yes,
Yes,
that's what
I'm
I'm
a
talking
Renaissance,
about.
Renaissance lady.
We got to come to the 21st century.
Yes. I realized I was missing so much money. I said, let me get me a card reader. I got a card reader. So you can get it from me, check, or send me a check, or if you call me, I can take your credit card and that kind of thing, and you'll get a receipt. It'll say Yellow Rose Productions. That's my production company, because I'm from Texas, Yellow Rose.
Oh, yes. Well, we want to give a shout out to all the folks that are listening right now, folks that have checked in, and like Chris Charity from Southside Chicago, Chris Charity, and Barbara Marks, and Vanessa
Hi,
Mooney.
Barbara. Hey, Vanessa.
And Robin Zimmerman. And
Hey, Robin.
Chiquita Johnson.
Don't know who that is.
I think Tom Holland is checking in.
Hey,
and
Tom.
Carl Walser and Honeydew and Professor Keys, Doris Jackson, Fresno, California, Penny Lewis, JR. I see Dietrich Frost checked in. Joseph Morganfield, I believe, is also checking in. And we probably got Westside Slick Rick, I believe, also checked in too. So anyway, we know everyone's listening. Sharon, while I'm doing this, let me see something. I want to, since we've been talking about this, let's see here. Let me see if I can play this song. So I do want to remind everyone next week, the Tiger of the Blues, Nellie Tiger Travis, will be on my show next week. And as you all know, she'll be on the Tonight Show, or maybe you don't know, with Jimmy Fallon, singing her song that is just blown up to another big hit for her. And here we go. I'm gonna play this song for you. We'll be back, but she's gonna be on there singing "Slap Your Weave Off." So check this out. Hold on once. Okay, and that was Nellie, my good friend Nellie Tiger Travis, "Slap Your Weave Off." And like I said, she'll be on the Tonight Show later this week on Wednesday, I believe,
18th.
on the 18th of January, singing her song. And we're happy for Miss Travis. So, and she'll be here next week on Blues and News with Brother Jacob. All right, I've got somebody on the live line. How you doing, JR?
What's up, man? How you doing? Happy Dr. King Day to you.
Happy Dr. King Day to you too. Now, Sharon, I don't know if Sharon, can you hear us? Okay.
JR,
the drummer, one of the baddest drummers in Chicago, JR Jonas Ross.
Hey, JR.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm enjoying the information. I was telling Jacob, I said, it's called Blues and News. It's all about how people got to where music and hearing about what people done and how they got to where they are today. So very informative.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
JR,
you said, I know you had to bite your tongue a few times.
Yeah, baby. It was starting to bleed too. Mm-hmm.
Sharon, JR's he works a lot with Vance Kelly, and he's worked a lot with a lot of other artists too. And I know you worked with Toronto for a while, and you worked with a lot of people way back. You worked with a lot of folks on the stage.
I think the last time I performed with Miss Lewis was when she came down the Roses and Vance called her up on the stage.
Oh, wow.
That was a few months back.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but Jay, are you doing all right?
I'm doing good. Just, actually off tonight. But
Wow, that's a first.
We'll be at the 50-yard line tomorrow.
Okay.
From 7 to 11.
Okay.
Last Tuesday, matter of fact, we had a surprise guest come down, Ronnie Baker Brooks.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Louisiana Al. I mean, it was just throwing down.
Oh, you had everybody coming in there.
It's turning into a grown folks party, you know.
All right. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what we're trying to keep it, you know.
And then y'all at the 50-yard line on what day again? On Tuesdays?
On Tuesday, from 7 to 11.
And that's on
And
75th?
I believe that's 69 East 75th. It's not too far off the expressway.
Right, because it's not too far from Liam's barbecue.
Oh, yes, indeed.
You know, I got to throw the Liam's barbecue in there.
Yeah, and no cover charge.
That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Yep. That's all right. That's all right then. Cool. Well, JR, you tell Vance and them we said hello, and they know to come check y'all out at the 50-yard line on Tuesday tomorrow.
Okay. Good.
Good talking to you. Thank you for calling, JR.
Oh, always. I've been called. I try to call every week.
Are you stalking?
No.
Well, actually, I think I was performing with Brother Jacob when he got the name from Toronto.
That might be right.
At Lee's Unleaded.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't even think about that, but that's right. That's right. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I was there when you got your crown.
Right. Oh my goodness. Well, Jay.
All right, I ain't gonna hold you, Lo.
Okay, then we'll talk to you later, Jay. I'll talk to you next week.
All righty.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Later.
That was JR, one of the best drummers in Chicago, who calls in every Monday as we're here from 4 o'clock to about 6 p.m. As you all know, my schedule is a little different since I just couldn't get out of this 6 o'clock class on Monday. So, but thankfully I don't have class today. Whew. But as always, if you want to listen to archived versions, archived episodes of Blues and News with Brother Jacob, like including this one that we have with Sharon Lewis, you can always access them at www.bluesandnews.com, and it will be on the website for you to listen to, and especially for those of your friends who aren't available during this time but still want to hear some blues and news and everything else. Okay, so we don't have much time left, but I do want to give Sharon the opportunity again to talk about the CD release party and anything else that you might want us to know before we get up on out of here.
Like I say, the CD release party is Friday, January 20th at Harlem Avenue Lounge, and that's located at 3701 South Harlem in the beautiful city of Berwyn.
Yes.
And showtime is 9 o'clock, so please come out and have some cake with me. Not having any food.
Okay.
This is the times. You know, and plus, well, here's the whole thing. I am doing the Million Woman March the next day on the 21st.
The next day?
The 21st after the show.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm going to be in a hotel, and I just can't bring everything with me other than the cake.
Right.
You know, I just can't bring everything with me other than the cake. So I would appreciate it if you come out. You know,
oh my goodness,
some people to come out and hang out with me and that kind of thing. And then the next week I leave for Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, I leave.
Wow.
So I'm kind of busy. Jacob, I need to do laundry in the meantime. I just finished up laundry from the last tour, and then I did laundry from the tour before that with the. Anyway, I need a helper.
Oh my goodness!
Somebody wants to be what is that called? When you go in and they teaching you apprentice.
There you go. Eric, couldn't you cut me a promo real quick?
Okay,
you could just you can tell them whatever you want to, but
what the call letters for the station?
Oh, I don't have. We're just UIC Radio.
Okay,
and you can tell them you listen to Blues and News with Brother Jacob.
Hey, what's up, Chicago? This is Sharon Lewis, the blues diva, the grown-ass woman. You are listening to UIC Radio with Brother Jacob. Have a good one.
All right. Well, we're getting out of here, y'all, and we thank y'all for tuning in. And as always, as I like to say, we will meet again next week on Monday.